Hello everyone, how are you? I'm Edipo Kleber, and in this video I want to show you the 10 trending colors for next year. Here you can choose them to paint your house both inside and outside. These are colors in shades of gray, trendy colors, popular colors that I picked out based on my opinion, colors that will be a hit next year. And for sure, by choosing one of them, you'll be able to paint and decorate your house with the paint as well. So, look, I studied 10 colors and carefully selected them for you with a lot of care and research. Alright, so you can choose one of these here, okay? To paint your house, paint your living room, paint your bedroom, paint the facade of your house, why not? It works too, okay? So grab a pen and paper because this content is really cool. I made it with a lot of care and research for you. And the only thing I'm going to ask in return is for you to subscribe to our channel, okay? Subscribe if you haven't already, alright? Leave a like too, hit the like button on this video so we can build a really cool partnership here. And comment, your comment is very important to me, so leave a comment here. Which of these 10 colors that I'm about to show you would you choose to paint your house? Well guys, this is the kind of video you ask me for a lot, right? Like, tell me a cool color to paint my living room, my bedroom, the front of my house. So I picked out 10 colors here by hand, in my opinion, all in shades of gray. Okay, later I can make another video here with beige tones, gray tones, which are really cool and also very trendy right now. But in this specific video, it's 10 colors in shades of gray, and I'm sure you'll pick one of them. The first color, guys, the facade retro photo. What does this color bring to you when painting a living room, painting a bedroom, a television room? It's a neutral shade of gray, very similar to the color ice, but it has its own glamour, its own uniqueness. It's a very beautiful color. You who like the color ice, right? It's very well known in the decoration world. And would like a color close to the color ice, a shade of gray close to the color ice. But it's like, I've already seen the color ice in a lot of houses, in a lot of places out there, but I think it's beautiful. Is there any other color that's closer to this color but isn't ice? Here it is, look, retro photo. This is a color in shades of gray, really light. Like this, I can classify it as medium to light. Okay, because there are also darker shades that you can use to paint all the walls in your house. Inside, so look how cool that is. It's a color that won't stand out the same way as the ice color. It doesn't clash with your decor. You can paint all the walls in your house, inside or your apartment, the retro photo as well. You are free to paint your living room, your bedroom, the hallway, the corridor, the child's room or the teenager's room. Anyway, you can paint all the walls inside. And why not also use this retro photo color as the main color on the facade of your house? This is a color I recommend for you to paint the facade of your house as the main color, the one that will stand out on the front of your house. That's another very common question you ask me. Ed, can I use the same color I paint the facade of my house to paint the inside as well? Yes, no problem at all. This one right here, look, it's fine. I 100% recommend you use it to paint the facade of your house, for example. See, for the facade, you need to add more colors. Just one color, I wouldn't recommend it. You need to work with 2 or 3 colors, but you can definitely use it as the main color. This first color I'm showing you here, retro photo, is a popular color, a trending color to paint both the inside of your house or apartment as well as the facade of your house. This second color here, guys, called Asteroid, really resembles chromium gray, okay? I can even tell you it's like a twin sister to chromium gray. This color here, Asteroid, let's use the same example as the ice color, okay? You like the ice color, but you don't want to use it because everyone already does. So you go with retro photo. Chromium gray is also a very well-known color in the world of decoration. Okay, it's a color that starts to get a bit repetitive, like a regular presence. That's the best word for us to use. But then you say, Ed, is there a color that's really similar to chromium gray but isn't exactly it? Well, here it is, look. Asteroid is also a neutral gray tone, a medium shade of gray. I can classify it for you. That you can use to paint all the interior walls in your house or apartment, and it will look really beautiful. Just reminding you that these two colors here, these first two colors that I'm already showing you, they can be used, look how cool, take this tip here, okay? As the main color, all right? It can be the color you use to paint all the walls and then each room in your house. Indoors, whether in an apartment or house, there's no problem. You can pick one wall in each room and choose a darker shade of gray for those of you who like gray tones to paint your house. These two colors that I'm showing you first and this second one, our Asteroid, these are colors for you to paint all the walls and then you choose one wall per room. I always recommend the following. Never paint all the walls with a strong dark color, okay? Use a color, not just shades of gray, but any shade. Use a darker color from that color palette. And then, on the other three walls of that same room, you use a lighter shade, which is exactly this Asteroid I'm talking about. Here, you can paint three walls in your suite, and for example, the wall behind the headboard of the bed. You can paint it with a darker color in the same gray palette. This one, guys, the color Prata Bali is a medium gray shade, already leaning, let's say, about 75% towards a medium dark tone, okay? It's a color that you need to be a little careful with when painting your house. Indoors, when I say be careful, what I mean and want you to understand is that this color here, Prata Bali, is a medium gray shade that's already leaning towards dark, okay? We know that the gray palette has thousands of colors. You have a huge variety of colors in the gray palette. And then, within these palettes, we have those really light colors that almost look white, right? There are the medium colors, the medium gray tones, and there are those darker colors. So, between the medium and the dark, I can put this Bali silver here, about 60% above the medium. So, what care do you need to take when choosing this color here, Bali silver? Okay, to paint your house inside. Let's talk about the inside first. It's a color that if you're going to paint all the walls of a room with it, and you already have a dark wood floor, look how nice, you already have a dark wood floor, you already have your cabinetry. Also in dark tones, there's the gray from your sofa, there's that other dark one too. And then you need to be careful because otherwise you end up making your space too dark by using this color, silver. Bali, it's not that it's not recommended, that's not it, you just need to be careful. So are you going to use Bali silver? Okay, it's perfect, it's a beautiful color and it's in the gray palette. However, you need to be careful because it might not be comfortable for you. In these environments where you chose the color silver bale, you can use other materials with dark colors. So my tip is to be careful when choosing the color silver bale. That's my opinion, okay? There are many professionals who have different opinions, but that's my opinion. For you who choose this color here to paint the inside of your house, just be careful with the other elements, otherwise you might end up making it too dark. Exactly because this color is already a medium shade of gray, already leaning towards the darker side, okay? This next color here, white azalea, is totally the opposite of the last one I just mentioned to you, silver bale. Why? It's very light, okay? It's very soft, very neutral, white azalea. I want to do a review for you here, okay? If you like cockatiel gray, pay attention, okay? If you like it, if you've seen it in some places, in some houses, the cockatiel gray color painted, and you like that color, but you don't want to repeat that color in your house. Wow, Edipo Kleber, I thought it was so beautiful. A really light gray, it matched the white doors, the wooden floor, the white ceiling, it looks so nice. But I didn't want to repeat that color in my house. Here's my tip. Look, white azalea, this color, I can consider it like a sister to cockatiel gray. Almost a twin sister, really. Almost a twin sister to cockatiel gray. Cockatiel gray, by the way, is the color I have painted in my apartment, just so you have an idea of what I'm talking about, okay? But if you like a light shade of gray and want to choose a color close to cockatiel gray, here's my tip for you. Look, white azalea, you have no idea how beautiful this color is. After it's painted with the white door, with the white baseboard, with the wood-like floor, whether it's vinyl or porcelain tile, with a nice, beautiful plaster decoration, which will also add value to your living room, your property. This color here, for those of you who like light gray tones, is an excellent choice to paint your house. Our next color is Arctic Morning. Now, I want to tell you that this one, I can consider it a little lighter than Calopsita, or even a twin sister of Calopsita Gray. If you didn't like White Azalea, which was our previous color, I bring you this one. Look, Arctic Morning, all right? I can classify it as, let's say, 10% lighter than White Azalea. Let's put it that way. Now, there's a really cool situation here that I want you to understand now. It's a light gray tone, that really light color, like Cockatiel, Arctic Morning, White Azalea, Retro Photo. Those colors in very light gray tones. It can vary depending on your lighting. Yeah, like what do you mean by that? Pay attention when you have white cool lighting, which is that shade from the lamp, the light, really whiter. The gray color painted, especially the Arctic Morning here, it's going to be a cooler gray, that stronger gray. You really will be able to see the color of the gray Arctic Morning. Painted on your wall when the lighting is cool white, it's fine when it's a neutral white. Even so, you can still get the feeling now when you have it painted on the walls of your house, the Arctic Morning, and you put in warm white lighting. Pay attention, warm white is that lighting that has a yellowish tone. Okay, it's totally the opposite of that white lighting we use, which I always recommend for the kitchen, the bathroom, or a laundry area. Alright, so the temperature of the lamp in warm white will give you the feeling. With these light colors, okay, dark colors don't have as much effect. But when you have a light shade of gray and you use warm white lighting, it gives the impression your eyes will start to feel like that color is turning beige. You know that feeling. Man, I painted my wall here with a shade of gray, but it looks like shredded paper, which is a shade of gray but leaning toward beige. So just be careful with that perception. Sometimes you'll think, man, I chose the wrong color, but that's not it. It's not that you chose the wrong color. It's not like I told you here that this is one color, and when you got there, it was another. That's not it, okay? It's exactly because of the lighting tone that this visual effect happens in your decor. So, light shades of gray painted inside your house. When you use warm white lighting, it changes a bit. It tends to look more beige. Take this tip so you don't think you made a mistake choosing your color. Now, I want to introduce to you the color Pure White. For those of you who like and are fans of the color white but don't want everything to be monochromatic, that single color painted inside your house, pure white, guys, is just this color. Pure white is to break up that monochromatic color scheme you might have in your house. I always recommend here in my projects, here in the videos where I talk to you, that the ceiling has to be white, okay? In my projects, the ceiling has to be white, all right? And why is that? You're free to work with colors on the walls, the floor, and other elements. So if you say, Ed, I like the color white, I want to have white inside my house, but I don't want to have that feeling, you know, of a hospital or a clinic where everything is white, okay? So here's a great color suggestion for you, pure white, okay? Choose this color to paint the walls in your house. It's much lighter than gray. Cockatiel, just so you know, Cockatiel is already a very light color in the gray palette. And then pure white comes in to make it even lighter compared to Cockatiel gray. Our next color, still in the gray palette, is Ponte Estalhada. If you pay attention, it is indeed a shade of gray, but it really resembles a shade of green. If you, like me, are a fan of the color green, and those who have been following me here for a long time know this, besides the shades of gray, which I also really like, here is a color in the gray palette, okay? Don't look for this color in the green palette because you won't find it, all right? Although it closely resembles green, here's a color for those who want it in their home. Internally painted in a shade of gray from the gray palette, but still resembling green. Look, Edipo. I really like the color Fennel, which is a very light shade of green, but I didn't want to use that color here. A shade of gray with a hint of green called Ponte Estalhada for you to paint the interior walls of your house. And I would also suggest to you that besides the interior walls of your house, you can feel free to choose a type of wood-like flooring, a lighter type of floor, a white ceiling. You can also use this color. the cable-stayed bridge in the woodwork of your kitchen, for example, or your bathrooms. It's a very beautiful color. It's a really nice shade of gray. I like it a lot. In my next project that I do here, I'll show you, I always show my projects. I'm going to suggest to my client this color cable-stayed bridge to paint the inside of his house, his apartment, or even the woodwork. There, whether it's in the kitchen or in the bathrooms. Our next color, called Mangaratiba, is also a shade that stands out because it's a shade of gray, but it really reminds you of lilac. You notice that the previous color I showed you reminds you of green, but it's actually in the gray palette. And now Mangaratiba, it's a shade of gray. But if you stop to analyze it with me here and pay attention to this color, it will remind you of lilac, a very light shade of lilac. Look at how nice it feels when we choose a color to paint our house. See how much of a difference it makes when you choose the right color to paint your property. The facade of your house, your son's room, your daughter's room, your suite, your television room. Look at the number of options we have to choose from. Just in the gray palette, isn't this Mangaratiba color cool? It reminds me of lilac and it's very beautiful. It's a color I would definitely choose. To paint all the interior walls of my house, to be a predominant color on the facade of my house. And I want to take this opportunity to tell you the following. Down here in the description of this video, I'm going to leave 2 links for you. Number 1, the link to one of my ebooks prepared with a lot of research, which I made in shades of gray, and the second ebook in shades of beige. So, there are two ebooks that I prepared with a lot of research. Colors that I use in my projects, color combinations, up to 3 colors for you to use to paint the facade of your house, for you to paint the interior of your home, your apartment. So, besides this video that I'm making for you, with a lot of research, colors that I carefully selected to suggest to you for painting the interior of your house. I also have 2 ebooks available that you can purchase and choose the right combination. I spent almost a month preparing each of these ebooks with a lot of care and a lot of research, I want to say and repeat here. To do what? To make your life easier, okay? Are you looking for a shade of gray or beige or color combinations with more than 1, 2, or 3 colors? To paint the facade of your house, get my ebook, okay? It's right here below in the description. The first 2 links, shades of gray and shades of beige. I'm sure you'll like it and it's really cheap, okay? It's nothing outrageous. It doesn't even cost 50 Rs, alright? There are several files that I prepared for you, including videos which you can get and have a lot of success with painting your house. Did you like these colors here? Would you choose one of these to paint your house? I want to read your comment down below. Leave a comment for me and don't forget that I'll see you in our next video. Take care.